All right, thanks, guys. We are currently 64% in our last 22 board member package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also still hitting at 65% for the entire college football season on that website as well. Link for that site is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some college basketball action. Happy Friday, guys. The weekend's finally here, so congratulations. You made it through another week. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, beginning with Iowa taking on Michigan. 6:30 Eastern tip-off in that game. Michigan's -8, totals 144. We saw a 1-point fade of Michigan and movement downward on the total. The Wolverines open -9 down to -8. Total open 145 down to 144. 60% are leaning Michigan, 53% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Hawkeyes of Iowa, they're plus 265 on the money line. Iowa's also won 5 out of their last 6 games, 4-2 against the spread in those 6. They're averaging 79 points per contest on the year, and they have successful covers over the likes of Syracuse and Texas Tech. Luka Garza is leading the charge with 20 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks. CJ Frederick, 11 points a game, 3 assists. He's been upgraded to probable for tonight's action, so it looks like we will see CJ in the action here tonight. Joe Wieskamp, 11 points, 5 rebounds for him as well. Now, Michigan on the other side, they failed to cover in 2 out of their last 4 at home. Michigan's also coming off an embarrassing loss to Louisville, 58-43. Where they went into that matchup as the number 4 ranked team, and they got absolutely blown out, not competitive. Now, total-wise, Michigan 2-1 to the under in their last 3. Iowa 6-2 to the under overall for the year. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me Iowa +8 and the under 144 in that game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Providence taking on Rhode Island. And that's going to be a 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. We have ourselves a pick'em contest in this matchup here. Totals at 142.5. Now, Rhode Island opened as the 1.5-point favorite, and we saw movement upward on the total as well. So once again, Rhode Island opened 1.5 down to a pick'em contest. Total open 141 up to 142.5. 61% are leaning Rhode Island. 62% shaded toward the over. Right now, Providence is plus 105 on the money line. The Friars have also lost 3 out of their last 4. They failed to cover in 6 out of their last 7 as well. One of the worst covering teams as of late in college basketball. They are a winless 0-4 against the spread away from home this year. Now, Rhode Island, they're winners in 4 out of their last 6. Fats Russell has 21 points a game. Fats Russell has 21 points a game, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. Jeff Doughton, 14 points a game, 3 rebounds. And Tyrese Martin, 11 points, 5 rebounds for him. Now, total-wise, Rhode Island is 3-0 to the over in their last 3. Meanwhile, farts. I can't believe I said that. Providence, 60% to the over in their last 5. That is incredibly sophomoric of me. But anyway, I'm going to lean Rhode Island, winning this one outright in the pick'em, and the over 142.5 in that game. All right, next matchup. For some reason, not on our screen. You got to do a better job, Xfinity. You're welcome for your free plug. But anyway, Duke taking on Virginia Tech. 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that ACC showdown. The Blue Devils are the 7-point favorite. Total at 142.5. We saw a half a point move toward Duke and movement downward on the total. The Blue Devils open 6.5 up to -7. Total open 143.5 down to 142 and a hook. 69% are leaning Duke. 63% shaded toward the over. Still can't believe I said that. And at the moment, the Hokies of Virginia Tech are plus 260 on the money line. Now, Virginia Tech lost their last 2 straight. They failed to cover in those 2 games. They lost to BYU 90-77, a double-digit loss there to BYU. Ugh. And they also lost to Dayton. Dayton, a good squad, but they lost 89-62 to the Dayton Flyers. If you're Virginia Tech, that's certainly deflating. You got to imagine Virginia Tech has much better athletes on their bench. But anyway, Duke on the other side, 2-0 straight up in their last couple of games. They beat Michigan State handily, 87-75. Nice double-digit win there in their last game. They're also 4-0 straight up away from home this year, 3-1 against the spread in those 4 games. Vern Carey is averaging 19 points a game, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. Trey Jones, 16 points a game, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. And Matthew Hurt, 11 points a game, 4 rebounds for him. Just keep in mind, Cash Stanley is out with a leg injury. Should see a small impact, but not so much that Duke can't overcome. Now, total-wise, Duke 7-2 to the over on the year, 75% to the over when traveling. Meanwhile, the Hokies are 3-1 to the over thus far in the season. 3-1 to the over in their last 4. They're also 4-2 to the over in their last 6. I'm leaning toward Duke in this matchup here. Give me Duke -7 and the over 142.5 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Friday's college basketball action. Now, happy Friday to you. The weekend's finally here. And before we get into some more free lines of personal leans right here on YouTube, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we are currently 64% our last 22 board member package plays on that site. We're also hitting at 65% for the entire college football season on that website as well. We do daily premium picks on that site beginning at just $1.99 per month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. And, at the end of this program, I'm going to pretty much explain to you the difference between what I do here on YouTube and what we do on the Patreon page. You can actually check out my current Patreon record for free right now. It's right on the homepage. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, next matchup. It is going to be Dartmouth taking on USF. And that'll be an 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that matchup there. The Bulls of South Florida, they're -8, totals at 122. We're seeing pretty good movement on this game. We saw a 1-point move toward USF. We also saw a 4-point move upward on the total. USF open as the 7-point favorite, up to -8. Total open 118, up to 122. 59% are leaning USF, 90% shaded toward the over. And right now, Dartmouth is plus 320 on the money line. They also lost their last 2 straight games. They're just 2-3 straight up in their last 5. They lost to Georgia State, Bowling Green, and Jacksonville. Not too good there. This Dartmouth squad is averaging just 69 points per contest. Meanwhile, the battling Bulls of USF, 3-2 against the spread in their last 5. Successful covers over Furman, Loyola Chicago, and Wofford. David Collins is averaging 15 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. LaQuincy Redneau. That's my dog, LaQuincy. I used to call him LQ back in the day. LQ Rhode, 13 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. And, of course, Justin Brown, 8 points a game, 5 rebounds. This USF squad is giving up just 61 points per contest. They rank in the top 20 in defensive rebounding. And when it comes to this total, the Bulls are 5-1 to the under in their last 6. They're also 75% to the under overall for the year. Give me USF -8 and the under 122 in that game. Next matchup, another game that should be on the screen, but it's not. It's a marquee game. I'm talking about Pitt taking on Louisville. Xfinity. Once again, here's a shameless plug for you. Free plug, but you got to do a better job. Let's get these marquee matchups up on the screen. But anyway, Pitt taking on Louisville, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that game. The Cardinals are the 13-point favorite, total at 128.5. Now, we saw a 0.5 point fade of Louisville in the early wagering. We also saw a little bit of movement upward on the total. The Cardinals open as the 13.5 point favorite. They're now down to -13. Total open 126 up to 128.5. 61% are leaning Louisville, 71% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Pitt Panthers are plus 820 for an outright win on the money line. The Pitt Panthers 4-0 against the spread in their last 4. They're also on a 5-game winning streak right now. They rank in the top 20 in the nation in points allowed. They're giving up just 58 points per contest. Their opponents are also shooting just 38% from the field. Trey McGowan's 12 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Ryan Murphy, 12 points a game, 3 rebounds. And Xavier Johnson, 12 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists for the Panthers. Now, Louisville on the other side, they failed to cover in 3 out of their last 5. They're also just 2-4 against the spread as the home team. Now, total-wise, Louisville's 3-3 to the over as the home team. Pittsburgh on the other side, 3-0 to the over in their last 3. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me the Pitt Panthers plus 13 and the over 128.5 in that game. Of course, I'm going to slide to my next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be USC taking on TCU. 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that matchup. The Horned Frogs of TCU are the 4.5-point favorite, total at 135 and a hook. Saw a 1-point fade of TCU and movement downward on the total. The Horned Frogs open 5.5, down to minus 4.5. Total open 137, down to 135 and a hook. 52% are leaning TCU, 59% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Trojans are plus 170 on the money line. The Trojans have also lost 2 out of their last 4, and they failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5. Now, TCU on the other side, 6-1 straight up in their last 7. They're 5-0 straight up as the home team. Desmond Bain, 19 points a game, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. RJ Nembhard, 13 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. And Kevin Samuel, 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks for the Horned Frogs. Now, TCU's 4-1 to the under in their last 5. USC, 75% to the under in their last 4 themselves. 7-2 to the under overall for the year for the Trojans. I'm going to purchase the 0.5 point, slide it down, and take TCU minus 4 and the under 135.5 in that game. All right, let's go ahead and slide into our quick pick recap. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are currently hitting at 64% in our last 22 board member package plays. I like TCU minus 4 under 135.5. Pittsburgh plus 13 over 128 and a hook. South Florida minus 8 under 122. Duke minus 7 over 120. Let's try that again. Duke minus 7 over 142.5. Rhode Island winning that one outright in the over 142.5. And last but certainly not least, I like Iowa plus 8 and the under 144 in that game. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again, guys, we are hitting at 64% in our last 22 board member package plays on that website. We're also hitting at 65% for the entire college football season on that site as well. We do daily premium picks on that site, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages on that site that you can subscribe to. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what's the difference between what you're doing here on YouTube and your Patreon page? And that's a great question. I'm glad you asked it. What we do here on YouTube is we handicap every single game on the board, both the side and the total, or nearly every game on the board. And I'll tell you this much, if you were to bet every single game on the board, especially professional sports, if you were to bet every single game on the board, both the side and the total with your hard-earned money, you're guaranteed to lose in the long run. And as a matter of fact, you're probably going to end up losing in the short run as well. The books are too sharp. They're too smart. The math is always going to be against you. So basically what we do on Patreon is we really narrow it down and dial it in on 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're high percentage selections. They're games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, my current record on Patreon is a whole lot better than it is handicapping every single game side and total on YouTube. As a matter of fact, you can actually check out my current record for free right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. It's right on the homepage. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you on patreon.com/BrockPage.